About 30 minutes ago. If you missed any of that conversation, find the full conversation available on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, Brian Bulaga earlier today on Wilde and Tauscher, previewing Packers-Eagles on Sunday. Check that out on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, it's
Mister, I did properly and correctly predict that game. And I'm not taking a lot of credit because I've done this before.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
You're like, what? What just happened?
Exactly. I was like, no way. How is this possible?
That's a mistake.
Who is this team?
I'm already tired, by the way. Just hearing all of this, I'm already tired and exhausted.
It was, it was
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside John Audius. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. I am Jim Rutledge. As the big voice said, I'm alongside John Audius. Primetime Roller Shine behind the glass. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the YouTube, the ESPN Madison YouTube. John is wearing what is the hat you got on today?
What is it? I went camping up north in northern Minnesota a couple summers ago.
Yeah.
It's from there. It's called the Siegel Outfitters. I don't know what it is.
Nice. I like it. I like the Matt Hamilton would have appreciated it. He's a Minnesota guy. He might know it because he goes up the Duluth area. Obviously, a lot of time up there.
I don't think I could do it again. I mean, this is like going camping and you're up and you have a canoe and you're ported, like you're carrying the canoe and you're going to the water and you're going to the next spot. It's a lot of work.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that is true camping. That is absolutely true camping. Matt Hamilton, curling?
Matt Hamilton is curling in Arizona, and he would love to be here for the conversation of what true camping is versus what's fake camping, right, Jim?
Right, but also Matt is a phony because he camps like once every 5 years for like one night and is like, I'm a camper.
But you know what? He cuts his own kindling, right?
Right.
And that's what decides a true camper.
And so it is funny as
we had this debate,
as you reference this. John, we had this debate about cutting your own kindling, and honestly, my wife brought up the point of like, you buy the wood from the state park, and then you just throw in some newspaper and basically. And I think I was mistaken what I bought. It's kind of like a fire starter, but they're really cut. It's a piece of wood that must be like soaked in something. It's not like
okay.
And they're just cut really thin. So you throw like 2 or 3 at the bottom, and then that way I don't have to use like lighter fluid. Just put that at the bottom, put some newspaper in, and the fire gets going. So I don't have like the kindling. I just put that in there, then the fire goes.
And it gets going. Who cuts their own? Who has like an
Matt Hamilton claims he does.
Oh, we should consult the Carbless Talking text line about this one, John.
Nobody cuts their own wood. You buy it in a bundle.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay,
Well,
everyone's
there's a
bringing
lot of
axes
people-
around
apparently,
and carrying an axe.
Well, it all
literally.
started with like we were at Madison Axe. It was like I have an axe, but it's really for in case of emergency. It's not.
Yeah.
It's more of a hatchet,
Sure.
and it's more of like maybe I'll need this. I think I had to buy it once when I was trying to get something like at my house doing some landscaping, and I couldn't get this.
You bought a hatchet?
I did because I was trying to get this like bush out, and it was deep into the ground, and the root was so big, and I tried to cut at it, and that wasn't going to work. So I was like, all right, forget it. I just bought a hatchet and then hatcheted it, and then I was like, well, now I just have a hatchet, so I'll throw it in with the camping stuff.
Yeah,
so it's not
perfect.
like I use it regularly otherwise. But that was a hot topic. I guess you can chime back in on, do you cut your own wood? Do you even cut, bro? Do you even cut? That's the that's the Carbless Talking text line. List is more 844-770-3776. Molly Brown out with babies, so she will be back at some point. We're thinking mid-March is kind of what we've done our own math on. Because
is
there's
that the
holidays
injury
mixed in.
designation for her or whatever? Like babies?
Yeah, she's on the IR with babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the earliest point of return for when you go on baby leave? Is it it's I guess what?
Like
13
12.
weeks?
Yeah,
13 weeks.
I just kind of roughly go 3 months. I think that's roughly what you get. But then there was a little bit of holiday mix in there because initially I was like, oh, she'll be back like
There's a bye week.
Yeah,
one
the
might
first
say.
bye week. But the first week in March, I thought. But then there is probably a little bit of window with holiday built out that she'll be able to. It'll probably be that second week in March, mid-March.
Do you think there are people who try to like plan their pregnancies around the holidays?
Oh, I bet.
Try to get extra days off. Like Jesse Nelson, I'm sure, will do that one day.
Probably.
Even though on paternity leave one day, I'm sure.
That's a lot of math, and I mean, depending on what kid you're going on here, like really takes the romance out of it. If you're like, hey, we got like a 2-month window, otherwise forget it. Yeah. But I know women don't like to be pregnant during summer as well. It can be brutal.
That's true.
My wife was pregnant. We did not plan out, but so we have Rosie was a May baby, and then Nola December. So we did not plan out like, oh, which one's better or which time should we have it. It was more of like, you know.
It happens.
When babies,
it happens.
When it's time to make a baby, it's time to make a baby. You know?
Why don't we go all the way down to this one? Break it down for us, Jim. Come on.
We already talked about this. Rosie's a honeymoon baby. She's well aware. So that's just, we got married in August, went to Jamaica, and 9 months later we came back, we had a baby. So
is that it?
That's how babies are made.
Oh, you go to Jamaica.
When people love each other, Ryan,
they go to Jamaica.
They get married. And then after they get married, they go on a honeymoon together. And then when you come back from the honeymoon, you have a baby 9 months later.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
It's
If you're lucky, I will be sensitive to that.
And it just happens.
Yes.
It just occurs.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yes.
It's the magic of love.
It's like Santa. You just make a request. Sometimes it's granted, sometimes it's not. When the stork comes by and
you get a
leave it on the front door.
Yeah.
Better to leave it on the front door in May than December. Really got to be on top of the Ring doorbell.
That's true.
If the baby's left on your
There you
door
go.
in May.
When did the stork? I'm sorry, we're getting way off topic.
That's fine.
I was like, where's the story of storks? How did that ever come about? You guys ever think about that?
I feel like a cartoon. I don't know if it was a chicken or the egg thing. I've seen it in cartoons. I don't know if it was a cartoon creation that we all jumped on or if it was a old wives' tale. Obviously not a believed one, and then we just made it into cartoons. Do we know the? Do we have that?
There's a lot that the AI overview is giving me here. Ancient Greek mythology, folklore, and literature, and cartoons.
Yes. See, I remember it in cartoons.
Yes.
And they would like all be dropped off once. I feel like Dumbo was dropped off
Oh, probably was.
by Stork.
That he was.
Dumbo, then we'll get into sports.
So it's not just humans. It's
Yes,
animals.
Animals too. Yes.
Oh.
The Dumbo drug scene is one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in my life, and I kind of forgot about the trauma from it until I was watching with my kids because he gets
drug scene?
He gets drunk, I think, but like
drunk.
it's very hallucinogenic, and because it's like something where he drinks like bubbly, like he ends up drinking champagne or something like that. He thinks it's water, and it's really trippy. And it's honestly one of those things when I watched it back, I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this scene. It is insane. You have it up. There's like a pink elephant dancing. And
he is out of it.
And Dumbo's got the eyes of the kind of like the circles in the eyes and almost an X through it. And the mouse has got the big stoned eyes too.
This
or
is
you want to break it
representing
out.
something other than
Right.
getting drunk.
Well, that's why I said it's a drug scene. But technically, in the movie, they consume some sort of, I think, champagne or something.
But
like
they
that.
snuck it in there not to be like they wanted the adults to I don't know what they wanted, honestly.
Like some of those, you could chime in on this in the Carlos Talking text line 844-770-3776. What are some weird things in movies from like the 50s and 60s?
Fantasia's weird.
Yes, Fantasia. That's what I'm thinking of. Fantasia that's the brooms with the yes, that one is strange.
That's weird.
Pinocchio. It's got some. I mean, there's some intense scenes in Pinocchio that are a bit out there. When he goes to the place with the wolf and everything, like that's a bit much.
Well, Bambi's mom dies.
It's a hot
spoiler.
That's a hot start.
Spoiler.
That's a hot start to the movie.
Yeah, it sure is. I feel like anything from The Wizard of Oz, that's more like behind the scenes stuff that happened on that set, but even the movie itself was just really like off-putting and like uncomfortable whenever I've watched it, to be honest.
So that's weird. I like Wizard of Oz, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I could see that for sure. Yeah.
A lot of the lore is lore and not facts with the Wizard of Oz.
You mean like behind the scenes stuff?
Yes.
Didn't somebody like die?
I thought like the whole cast died because of the movie, essentially.
No, and they weren't mean to Judy Garland. They weren't jealous. She was like a nobody when the movie started. Like, so what would they be jealous of? The one thing I will tell you, and then we got to get into it, that in the original, there's even a song. Originally, the movie had the idea that Scarecrow would be romantically interested in, and there's a little bit more of, in some of the songs you still kind of hear it where he's more of like, I'll never be able to be smart enough for you. But then I think they smartly decided she's supposed to be about 14 or 15, and he's an inanimate object. So there's a lot of, well, I guess he's animate now. But in general, not animated object. So they moved off of it.
But shout out to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, by the way.
Yes.
That's like a classic.
It is.
Think about that's how old that song is, and you hear it, and you're like, God, that's a great song.
Wizard of Oz holds up, but I feel like less and less people. There's now a push to maybe remake it because it's so old that it's like, well, maybe at some point you don't have to live on the. And I agree with you, but at the same time, the argument that was made is like this is from like when was it, the 40s, 50s,
1939.
39. That you're going to lose generations of people who just don't want to watch an old movie, and it's sort of like. You got to remake it correctly, but at some point, we're pushing 100 years. I mean, not there yet, but that was the case for it, and I was willing to listen to it. All right. We got football coming up. We got football coming up on Sunday. The Packers play the Sunday afternoon game. And looks like Jalen Hurts is going to play.
He returned to practice today in a limited fashion per Nick Sirianni.
Of course he's going to play.
Right. And Vegas is obviously, this line at 5.5 is set for, and it wasn't set at 5.5, but this line, Vegas assumes he's playing. And the reason why I say he's going to play is this was the plan all along to those who kind of follow Philadelphia, was that he practiced today. He just has to not have a headache, so he's somewhat restricted. And I'm simplifying it, but as long as he feels fine, the last test to pass before you're cleared for concussion protocols, have a practice. How do you feel the next day? So as long as he feels fine tomorrow, he's in.
Yeah,
and he'll be playing.
I think it's almost a no-brainer. He's going to play. He's missed, what, is it 2 games, I think, in concussion protocol? To me, and Philly benching everybody the final week, like, to me, it just made sense. They're just, like, being extra cautious with Jalen Hurts because they want him for the playoffs. So I don't find that surprising at all.
And there could be something to, like, hey, let's not have him do his first concussion test too early because then maybe it's a different protocol. So they were maybe just like, let's just really make sure. So let's not have them actually go out and do something physical. I also believe that the doctors are pretty well aware of what they're expecting. He probably has not had symptoms for a very long time, so I don't think they're expecting anything to pop up. On the flip side, though, Coach LaFleur was pretty adamant that Jordan Love was fine. I want to review this quickly, and then we're going to get into our poll question. But and Ryan and John, jump in if I misremember any of this. But Jordan Love goes down in the Bear game after his two-handed pass to Josh Jacobs. And he's grabbing his hand. Initially, I think we all thought it was a wrist, but then it's clearly an elbow. And then the Packers never fully declare him out. But during the game, you see him constantly rubbing his hand to keep on cutting to it. And then you see when Malik Willis hits his hand on the helmet of a Bears player that Jordan Love also is warming up again. But when he's warming up, you still see him when he lets the ball go. He's touching his hand like he can't feel everything. And then after the game, he was talking to reporters, and he said at first, like, my hand doesn't feel, like, I still can't feel all of my hand. And then later in that same interview, he's like, it's fine. And Coach LaFleur said he's fine. And I think he's fine, but I think there was maybe a slight assumption from the Packers that this was a stinger, and even if it was something that really pinched a nerve, that it would just go away.
Yes.
And there is always the horrible situation where that's not going to go away. I don't know if that keeps him from playing, and that's what I want to get to in a minute. But Rob Domofsky, Packers quarterback Jordan Love, was limited in practice today. He was able to throw, Coach LaFleur said, and I just want to add this little bit. And I don't think Coach LaFleur would pull Brett Bielema up, but there's the whole story of Brett Bielema. I forget who the quarterback was, but the quarterback was injured. And he said, oh, yeah, so-and-so threw today. And he had the quarterback throw one pass left-handed. So he could say to the media that the quarterback threw today.
Yeah.
And so, like, Jordan Love throwing some warm-up passes, I don't think it would be the left-handed thing, but Jordan Love out there tossing the ball around, playing catch with Malik Willis is throwing. It doesn't mean he actually threw the ball. And that's what I want to get to for our side unlimited poll question. And here it is. Should Malik Willis start at quarterback if Jordan Love is less than 75% healthy this Sunday? 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. What do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to break something.
No.
I think absolutely he should play. And because it's the NFL playoffs, gall dang it. And I don't care if you're, 70%, 65%. I guess there is probably a cutoff point, right? But I think absolutely you play. 100% you play Jordan Love, even if he's less than 75% healthy. I know what Malik Willis gave the Packers earlier in the season when Love was injured. I just think you want to go out swinging. Like you want, even if you think your ceiling, right, is maybe Well, listen, if you're the Packers, you think your ceiling is the Super Bowl.
Right.
Otherwise, you're in the wrong business and you shouldn't have your job, right?
Yes,
I mean, there's got to be some
absolutely.
level of confidence there. So if that's the case, then absolutely, why would you not want to play your best player, even if he's not at his most impactful?
I agree with you, but it's just sort of this balance of it's his throwing arm.
Right.
Do you risk further damage? Is it something that could be carrying into next season? You don't want to toss away next season for one game this season. Obviously, the coaching staff and everyone has to coach and believe, even if Malik Willis went out there, hey, we're going to win. But with Jordan Love, I don't know if there's someone in the building, and I don't know what this number is. 75%, I would say, still play Jordan Love. But there is a sliding scale number of, hey, if there's a risk of long-term injury or if he takes a hit on it, it could get really bad. I just think of Christian Watson. Now, it's the opposite knee, and maybe it had nothing to do with his left knee being bruised that he blew out his right knee. But it's not great optics. 100% worse if it's Jordan Love, who has been dinged by the injury bug a few times this year. If there is a chance that he has an injury that carries well into next year, if that's at all on the table, if they're like, hey, there's a 50% chance that...
Yeah, but how can you determine it's a 50% chance? You know what I mean? Like,
true.
Like, if
it's a stability issue. Like, if they're saying, hey, this isn't a nerve, this is his ligaments in his elbow, Brock Purdy style.
I think they've been pretty adamant that it's just the nerve issue. It's his ulnar nerve, as they call it. Ulnaritis, actually, because you always just throw itis on whatever the actual thing is that's injured.
Yes. And I'm not saying they're lying. We're just talking hypothetically. At some point, if there was something where this ulnar thing could then, if he's overcompensating, there's doctors who at least have a general idea of like, hey, he might try to adjust his throwing motion, which could then cause him to blow out his elbow. Or this nerve issue could cause it. And I'm not saying that's the case,
right?
But that's where I would draw the line. And
if that hypothetical situation,
yes,
sure.
Because now I'm looking at like, hey, it's a long shot for us to go somewhere, and I'm not risking next season for him to possibly, or at least the entire offseason of work, for him to come out there and not be 100% and us likely lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, listen, if the doctors say something like that where his season next year is in jeopardy, I get it. You probably have to approach that in a different way. If that's not the case and he's just 70% healthy, where he's like, listen, this is still giving me some issues, but it's the playoffs. Like, if that scenario that you laid out isn't in play and it's just 70%-ish or something like that, I think it's a no-doubter. Now, like you said, if the scenario unfolds where the doctors say, hey, actually, guys, you know what? He could really injure himself, like even worse by playing. Then obviously I think you have to have a conversation. So I do agree with you in that respect too. But I don't know. I feel like the Packers are almost in a way too kind of being like, I don't know. Is he going to play? I think this is just a little bit of gamesmanship.
It very well could be. And that's what we can continue to kind of
Green Bay to me.
Flush out here. It is the 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless talk and text line. List is more. J&K Security Solutions, they're going to provide you with more. Family-run, veteran-owned, locally owned business that's been part of the Madison community for nearly 40 years. Jeffrey and the whole team at J&K care about making sure your home or business is safe and secure with services ranging from commercial fire detection to commercial security and surveillance. They are dedicated to keeping your business safe. And they, again, have home services like Control4 to help you control the most important things in your world from anywhere in the world. Visit our friends at jksecurity.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu. Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites from pizza, pasta, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and so much more. All for $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With this lucky deal, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, will feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
You got a reaction. You got a reaction, didn't you? You took a wild orchid. You took a wild orchid and turned it blue. Something better than nothing. Something better than nothing.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside John Audius. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. We are presented by Coors Light Prime. With Mountain Blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
I do have the power, and you have the...
Why does that play? Can I ask?
Oh, that's a Jim Rutledge joint through and through right there.
It's when I say it, it's a cue, and he has to say, or
No,
Matt does. And
why does I've got the power
Because
play?
I feel like I got the power then. Like, it's like... It's a call and response, and it's just like I got this like juice.
And it's especially demeaning when I'm the one saying Crush Coors Light and I'm the one playing the I got the power. Like I am just fully like a puppet.
Yes.
I didn't look at it like that. I just thought it was kind of fun, and it just kind of evolved. And he's really the man in charge, because if he says no, it ain't happening. Like I don't know how to put anything in the system.
It sounds good, so I stuck with it.
There you go. That's why he's a great...
I got the power.
Did we ever, side note, Nicholas back Wisconsin on the Men, do we have the audio? Otherwise, you're going to have to find Riley. When you were out...
I heard it.
Okay, because apparently some of the keys expired, and so
this
Riley,
is on January 2nd.
Yes,
this
so
show.
Riley wanted to go fire some hotkeys. They had expired in the system.
Oh, no.
And so he ended up just doing I Got the Power on his own. And it's actually
He was good.
Yeah.
He got up there.
Yeah.
I've got the power. Like something up there.
He never. Yes, it was higher than that. It was impressive. I'll say he has quite the voice, Riley Elk. But no, he never sent me the audio of it, so I never followed through with him. But I think he's back in the office tomorrow. I'll check with him, and if he didn't do it, he's fired.
All right. Well, now things got serious all of a sudden. Our Siding Unlimited poll question is: should Malik Willis start if Jordan Love is less than 75% healthy this Sunday against the Packers? 45% of you say start Malik. 55% of you say play Jordan Love.
That's shocking to me. I'm sorry. I see this as it's the playoffs. You play to win the game. Like, why would you not put Jordan Love at 70%? I am honestly, like, when you said, I was like, 55%? Agree with me? I thought it'd be more like 60, 70 something.
So chime in on the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more 844-770-3776. This is why I like this question, because there's layers to it. And I want people to explain their answer, ideally, because there's a couple ways to look at it. One of them is, I won't even say it's dissatisfaction with Jordan Love. It's juice around Malik Willis. Fans really like him, and fans always like the backup quarterback. I am the king of the fan base that likes the backup quarterback. And Malik Willis is someone that won some games, right? Mm-hmm. And you just have that rose-colored glasses of he won games. And the offense looked good in those games. And you don't really, with this offense, Jordan Love is at his most effective when he's throwing less than 30 passes a game. Well, Malik Willis, you give him this run game, you give him Matt LaFleur's play calling, maybe Malik can go out there and make a difference, and why not just use this as an excuse to see what you got Malik Willis? And I don't think Packer fans think the drop-off, some of them voting here, I don't think that they believe the drop-off is as dramatic as the rest of us believe it is between Jordan Love and Malik Willis.
Wow.
Because Jordan Love, to me, is a good, not great, not elite quarterback. He still has the ability to climb. Malik Willis is, we have no idea. He's had some nice moments.
Yeah, I agree 100% with how you just described that, by the way. He's good. He's not great, Jordan Love. You know, and I honestly, I think this is just a bunch of, what's the word I'm looking here?
Malarkey?
Maybe malarkey could be one. It's just a bunch of, there we go. So the team closes practice, right? And so nobody gets to see Jordan Love and how he looks throwing. That's gamesmanship right there. They don't want any reports coming out. And then did you see this? Can I read a couple of sentences here? This is
that's right.
Jordan Love meeting the media today. I don't know if we have the actual audio, but I can read it. He was asked, here we go. So, numbness go away in your hand? Yep. How soon after the game ended? Pretty much by the next day. I was pretty much feeling back to normal the next morning. Grip on the ball felt fine today? Yep. Funny bone? Yeah. Nothing funny about it? Nope, definitely not. You playing Sunday? We'll see. Yeah, I'm hopeful. Feeling back fully or close? Yes. Why limited? Just based on my hand, getting back to it. If feeling's back, does it still hurt? Yeah, it's more my elbow recovering than that. Soreness? Yes. Hurt when you throw? Feel it? Yeah. That's what he said. He is not giving anything either. They're closing practice. Jordan Love didn't say crap right there.
Right.
He has been instructed to be like, hey, let's just see let's keep this under wraps. Let's get them guessing a little bit. That to me, he's playing, and this is just all them just pretending.
Oh, see, I go the other way, that he is bad at hiding things, because remember what happened at the beginning of the year with the contract stuff, and he had that really awkward interaction with, was it Stephanie Sutton, I believe?
Stephanie Sutton, yep.
And she asked him a fair question, and he kind of got weird, and then one of the people from the camp stepped in, but it was the same short answer, and when he tried to address it with the media, it was always these awkward, weird answers. Well, floors like that with Jair Alexander and David Bakhtiari. I think the Packers... They're not. There's definitely teams worse than the Packers, but I do think the Packers have at times PR issues. Like, they're a great organization. They need to hire someone to coach up the players and the coaches on how to handle some of these things a little better, so there's not this weird ambiguity, so we don't have to have this question, is Jordan Love healthy? And you're guessing he is. I'm guessing that he will play. I'm guessing that he doesn't want to put himself in a position saying, I'm going to play and then not play. So I do think they're expecting it to continue to progress in a positive way. I guess I'd put it same odds as Jalen Hurts playing. Yeah. We're going to assume both those guys are going to play.
I think he's probably hurt. It probably does hurt. It probably still kind of affects him, but he's going to play. And they just don't. He's probably been instructed, just don't say a lot. Just don't give away anything. Just say it. Just tell them. Be truthful, but don't give them too much. Are you saying they need to hire like an acting coach or something to lie better? Because that to me is him just trying to lie, but just trying to be coy. Not really lie, just withhold information.
I think more media training.
Okay.
We've all talked to people who are good at answering questions, and then we also talk to people who are not good at answering questions.
Mm-hmm.
And just some simple media training allows you to be someone who can filibuster. Bo Ryan was great at it. He never answered a question.
So you just want someone who's just going to give you a bunch of filler.
I think I don't want it personally, but I don't. Not filler. That's bad media. But Belichick gets away with it,
right?
But otherwise, you want someone who honestly is like giving you.
You be Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Numbness go away in your hand?
It's basically gone. Yeah, it's feeling good.
Okay. How soon after the game ended?
Hard to say. I mean, like injuries, they all kind of come and go, but it's feeling good now.
Does the grip on the ball feel fine today?
Feels fine to me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much what he said, I guess. But you did it in a.
But it's also a little bit more words to it. But
you can tell Rutledge that.
And I'm not going to take a shot. Like the reporter's fine, but there's a lot of like yes or no. There's a lot of yes or no's in there.
Yeah.
And so realistically, Jordan Love, if you started that, be like, look, I appreciate the question. We'll just get this out of the way. I am tracking towards playing. There's not really anything in my control that's going to keep me out of this game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be ready to play. My teammates know I'm going to be ready to play. And if I'm not playing, something is wrong, and we'll have to solve that problem. But I'm going to be out there for my team unless my body does not allow me to be out there for my team. Like that's how you answer it. You grab the bull by the horns, and you just say
that was it.
Because it was a bunch of yes and no back and forth. So maybe I should get a second job. And it's really not that hard. Like I feel like it's gotten worse over time. Like I used to cover teams like the Dolphins and Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas. They were great at just giving you long answers that not necessarily gave you the same amount of information, but it made you feel like there was more to it. And then you weren't always searching for every little nuance in it. Like for an example here, where you can see this on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. We'll hear it right now. Coach LaFleur answering questions.
Was Jordan able to throw it all, Matt?
Yeah, he was limited. Yeah, on a limited basis.
Like, I'm sorry.
Limited basis.
I know exactly what you're saying. That's
but also
awful.
like you're not the government, you're not CIA. It's not that serious. You can just lie.
This is Green Bay, Jim Rutledge. How dare you?
Like honestly, like I feel like someone in the building is
Felt
like,
Green Bay
hey,
to me.
err on the side of lying in this situation. Like nobody's holding. Like the injury report, you can't lie about. Coach, do the Brett Bielema. How Jordan Love throw the ball today? Yeah, he threw the ball today. At least you're like he paused and then kind of like he was limited. He didn't even say he threw the ball today.
Smirk, though?
Yeah, and the smirk.
He loves to give that little smirk when he's saying limited.
Do you think gamesmanship works for the other team? Like, are the Eagles going, guys, I don't know. We got to have a meeting. I don't know if Jordan Love's going to play.
Right.
I mean, he said he might, but, he was limited. Like, I don't even think that works. Like, if they're trying to be coy, I don't even think it works. Like, the other team obviously knows Jordan, like, they're going to get ready for Jordan Love.
My one argument would be that there's no way it's going to hurt you, right? Because in reality, there's only like the positive benefit of maybe they end up buying it, and if they don't, oh well, at least we tried.
But no pro team is going to buy that.
Not unlikely, but hey, you know what? Some pro teams aren't the smartest. Some pro teams are the Carolina Panthers. Okay. Some pro teams
Chicago
are
Bears.
the Chicago Bears.
Like those are the teams you're going to.
Yeah.
And the Packers are not any of those things except for this.
Yeah, they look goofy and corny at times. I'll give you that.
Go back to Murphy and then Rodgers. Like someone up there's got to be like, I understand that we have a mom and pop brand, but we can't run the media side of things as mom and pop.
Look, you know what they are? They're a little cheesy. They're a little cheesy, guys.
There you go. Tyler in Sun Prairie chimes in. Okay, so I want 70% Jordan Love, but I want, and this is hilarious, he fixed it, McFleur. I don't know how. He changed it to LaFleur later. He says, I have no idea what happened there. But he wants him to call the game that he would call with Willis if he was in. He says, I think that's where a lot of fans are going to. I've said that for a while, you call with Jordan Love, I'll tell you what, I would be shocked if they don't call that game plan because you're not getting 100% Jordan Love. I do believe that is the case.
I would say that is accurate, yeah.
Realistically, as long as Jalen Hurts can play, Philadelphia's in a better position with the injury because if you're cleared concussion-wise, that means cognitively you're good to go and physically you're fine. And he's fresh. He's had a couple
Do you think
weeks.
there's any aspect that he is, I mean, part of his benefit is that he is an incredible running quarterback, and like the tush push and all the things that Philadelphia does, the physical brand of football they play.
Yep.
Do they have to reel that back slightly with him if he's coming out of concussion protocol?
They could. They might.
That could play a factor.
It could be in the play calling a little bit, but at the same time, when they run a lot of I'm not worried about the tush push. I think it's more of when he takes off and run and instinct comes in. Then you might have to worry about his head hitting the ground or on attack. Because in the read option, he can just be a little bit more like, hey, it's got to be wide open, and if I see someone coming, I'll just slide. But you really just need the threat of it in a read option situation.
Hey, in those scenarios, we got that Pro Bowler who's out there defending the edge. That run defender, that run defending presence, the Pro Bowler that is Rashawn Gary, Jim Rutledge. Come on.
Carbon
they
World
better
Health,
be worried.
Can help you in many different ways, which includes testosterone replacement therapy. Getting old doesn't have to be exactly what it was for everyone else in your life. It can be you stay alert, you stay cognitive, you stay high energy. That can all happen with Carbon World Health. They'll do blood work. They'll get your hormone levels, and they're going to put you at hormone levels. And this is the part, if you're going through this experience, you'll recognize. Insurance will say, hey, here's your hormone level for your age. It's fine. Carbon World Health and other doctors will say your hormone levels should be at the levels they are at in your 20s and 30s regardless, because when your testosterone starts to drop, so does everything else in your life, muscle tone and all of that. So go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez and see if he can help you with hormone optimization, testosterone treatments over at Carbon World Health. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Something amazing is happening. Technology is working harder, faster, and more reliably. It's delivering results that work. But who makes technology work? CDW. We're a full-service technology solutions provider, advising our clients and designing customized solutions so they can reach their goals and do amazing things. CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. PrizePicks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Join PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40 states, including California and Texas. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code WI. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WI on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Jim Rutledge, John Audius with you. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. You can get into the show on the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question. Should Malik Willis start if Jordan Love is less than 75% healthy this Sunday versus the Eagles? 49% of you say start Malik. 51% of you say play Jordan Love. Primetime will shine behind the glass. Prime, where are you falling on this?
I agree with John. You're playing Jordan Love in this game. He's the quarterback. He's your franchise quarterback. Malik Willis is nice. I think I was just texting some friends during the Packers-Bears game when Malik Willis is in the game because...
Whoa. You got some friends, huh? No,
oh, yeah. I wasn't texting the Jim, Matt, Molly group chat.
Whoa. Very nice.
Look, you were thank you. That is neat. I know.
That is neat.
Anyways, I was texting my Packers fans friends, unlike you, Jim Rutledge. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I was saying that every time we watch Malik Willis, it is chaos, but it is chaotic good, where it feels like everything that's happening is like he's just hanging on by a thread most of the times, but somehow that thread gets through the needle every time, or whatever the phrase is, I should say. But anyways, that's what it feels like watching him. It just feels like you're living on the edge, but you're somehow surviving. But it feels like you're just surviving usually when he's out there. And the running game is great, and he is a legitimate rushing threat, unlike Jordan Love is. But it does not feel sneaky and athletic, whereas Malik Willis is extremely athletic. But it's not very clean. I know people are upset about the Packers offense with Jordan Love. It's not very clean and cohesive right now. But with Malik Willis in there, it is it's patchwork. I'll be honest. It's not a real offense. At least that's how I've always felt.
I'm glad you're saying this because is that shocking to you? 51% say yes.
Mm-hmm. Jim is very right. There's a real infatuation with Malik Willis.
That is insane to me, and I'm not calling Packers fans insane. But those results are insane to me. Listen, I think you broke it down perfectly. Did Malik Willis win some games? Yeah, he won some games. I cannot imagine that you would say, as a Packers fan, the playoffs are here, and I don't want my normal starting quarterback, who's a little sore, dinged up, to play. I want the guy who, how did you describe it? Like barely hanging on? Like, how did you describe
living on
this?
the edge?
Living on the edge. Like, why would that's? I don't know. Maybe I could be on the wrong side here. But I think those results are insane right now.
Even if you were someone that believed in Malik Willis, he's rusty for sure. And I'll give an example, whether this is him being rusty or the difference between Jordan Love and Malik Willis. The difference between an NFL starting quarterback and a quarterback still learning. And Malik Willis, look, we just see Sam Darnold having success with Minnesota. I'm not writing Malik Willis off as a guy who could end up being a good quarterback or resurrect his career in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But and this play actually reminded me a lot of, I believe, Justin Fields as a second-year starter. The Kevin Byard blitz that caused the sack fumble against the Packers, that is the difference between a guy and Jordan Love, at a bare minimum, who has started a lot of games, who would recognize the blitz coming, change of protection, or know it's coming there, and then move the other way. That is a quarterback in Jordan Love who is good, and a veteran quarterback who started a lot of games over the last 2 years. And Malik Willis, who has sat for a very long time. So at a bare minimum, him just sitting is rusty on the play, adjusting the line of scrimmage, seeing the blitz, all those sorts of things. Malik Willis was, until he got hit, blissfully unaware that Kevin Byard existed, until Kevin Byard rocked him and caused a sack fumble and a takeaway for the Chicago Bears. That, to me, is the epitome of why Malik Willis won't work this season. Again, I'm not saying he wouldn't be good, but also in this case, the Packers are going to try to do everything they can to get Jordan Love to start, which means Malik Willis is not going to have all this practice time and this change of offense, all these sorts of things. So he would be incredibly rusty, and he is a guy who very much needs, at this point of his career, a lot of coaching and a lot of reps to get to his peak. He's still an improving player, but it's a bit cuckoo to think otherwise. We'll ask Tauscher about that a little bit later, too. But
I want to hear what Tauscher says to the poll question, quite frankly.
And maybe it's a 75%, and maybe they're like, oh, well, 100% Malik Willis better than a 75% Jordan Love. That's not the case. And the other thing is that could play into it, and chime in on it, 844-770-3776. It's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. I wonder if fans are kind of a little bit emo about this season now, where they're like, or nihilistic, like, we're going to lose anyways. I don't want to risk my QB. Like, I don't know if that's part of it. We're 5.5-point dogs. That feels generous. We had a horrible game against the Bears. We haven't beaten any of the good teams. We barely beat Jacksonville. Like, we're like 8 points away from being a team that misses the playoffs. And I'm not saying any of that is actually true about the team, but that could be the nihilistic thought from Packer fans right now. So they might just be like, I don't want to risk even 1% out of extra, normal injury for Jordan Love just to go out and lose this game.
Okay, so stay with me, guys. Mm-hmm. I was at LaFleur that said something like that game felt like a season ago, or somebody said like after the game that the Eagles game at the start of the year felt like a season ago, which is basically almost was a season ago.
Yeah.
How did the Packers play in Week 1 against the Eagles? How would you rate their performance? I know they lost. Did you walk away from Week 1 going, that was surprising? That was we almost like. How did you feel after Week 1? I'm getting to a point. I think
I felt like they played a pretty good, like a B game.
B game?
Yeah,
I would say.
Did you think the Eagles were like at the start of the year, like, watch out, the Eagles are going to be good this year? Did you feel that way?
No.
Both teams I felt like were super flawed, but had like high ceilings. Like I could see it for both teams being really good.
Okay, me
too.
too.
Eagles obviously got there. I'd say the Packers and Eagles both played like Jim said, probably like a C+ game. It was also so weird because the turf and everything. Like that game felt so muddy.
I will
and
say
roller
this:
coastery.
I don't know what Jalen Hurts' stats are as far as statistic average. Jordan Love, 17-34. That's kind of a Jordan Love completion percentage game. 260 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's kind of a Jordan Love game this year. And Josh Jacobs, 16 carries, 84 yards. It's Josh Jacobs' game. And then Reed had the big game, 4 catches, 138, and a TD.
And I remember Saquon had a huge game.
109 yards, 2 TDs on the ground.
And he caught a
A.J.
touchdown.
Brown had a big game, 119 yards receiving.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, 20-34, 278, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So none of that game felt completely out of the ordinary. But
okay, but so I guess the way I looked at it is kind of the way Primetime saw it there, right? Like, okay, these are two pretty good teams. I think a lot of Packers fans are very obviously optimistic at the start of this year after what happened in the playoffs last season. And you had a whole offseason to prepare, and it was a close game, and there were some weird scenarios because you were not, on anybody's home turf or whatever. And I thought, like, when that game was over, I thought, okay, man, those are two pretty dang good teams, and they scored some points, and it was close, and it came down toward the end, and then Love got injured. Like, I thought, I walked away feeling like the Packers seemed pretty good despite a loss. Now, whether or not they played up to their potential, I understand from that perspective. So if that game felt like a season ago, and in my opinion, Packers-Eagles, like, they played well. They played well as far as, like, it was an entertaining game. They had an opportunity to win. Why are Packers fans so pessimistic that the Packers can't go in and beat the Eagles now that they've have a different team? It's like a year ago. They can prepare for them just like they had a whole offseason to prepare, obviously shorter time period. Like, I think they're going to play them well. Does that seem weird? Like, I thought they played them well week 1. They had time to prepare. Now they have time to prepare. And I feel like they're just going to play them well. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Just makes sense?
I do think they're going to play them well. I think the concern comes in that Philadelphia clearly looks like a much better football team than Week 1.
Yep.
And the Packers, the best thing you can say is that maybe they're the same team from Week 1, but they're actually kind of can make a case worse. Jair Alexander out. Christian Watson, was he in that game? Was he out?
Christian Watson was there, but I don't think he did much of the game.
But I mean, still the threat of Christian Watson.
Yes, for sure. It definitely factors in. I think I would not say that they're worse. I think that game they were incredibly sloppy and inconsistent. I felt like they've been more consistent this year, but they've been consistently.
Their Bears game was very sloppy.
Yes.
Their last
and
game out there was sloppy.
That game I questioned a lot of where was their motivation, and then Jordan Love getting out early.
I did love, and we talked about this with, and again, I still think the Packers, I'd pick them to cover. I think they'll lose, but I think they cover that 5.5
points.
So, that's a game that
that's a competitive
they got a puncher's
game.
chance.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love against Minnesota. One, Josh Jacobs had to fumble against Minnesota. Love had a pass or two that one was almost intercepted. Another one
he
that
did
was
not
close.
have a good game.
But he did that, and we talked about this, the holding on to the ball. He bounced, like the second drive. So this is what I remember specifically that makes me think that Jordan Love is definitely a streaky player, and right now he's not, and then when the injury doesn't help, not on the good streak because he did not look good or accurate against the Bears. And against Minnesota, the Packers have the fumble with Jacobs. I believe it's the next drive. It's 3 throws from Jordan Love, and they give the ball back. One, he almost threw an interception in the middle of the field, but he was bouncing, and just let it rip. And he did 2 other, like, bleep it, I'll just let it rip. But he's bouncing, and he's throwing off his back foot, and it's one of those where he just didn't look in rhythm. He hasn't looked consistently in rhythm except for one drive. The last drive of the game for the Packers against Minnesota is the only time I've seen him look in rhythm over the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think that's more than anything. That's what it is. It's why John, you ask why Packers fans are so pessimistic going into the game. It's because the last 2 games were such bad performances, and they got handled by the Vikings, and then they dropped a complete dud to the Bears at Lambeau Field. And then on top of that, they're 0-5 against better teams in the NFC. That all factors into the Packers fan psyche going into this. I think all that stuff, it just makes you feel like, no, they're not good enough, and they're not at the level of the Detroits, the Minnesotas, and the Philadelphias this postseason.
I want to get to John's question about why play coy. We can get to that a little bit later in the show of, like, why is Coach LaFleur, tongue-in-cheek, like
he's limited.
I want to honestly, it really, maybe it's for Stones. It really drives me insane. It's one of the dumbest things out there as far as this sort of, like, what do you think? Philadelphia's going to be like, well, I guess we're playing Malik Willis. I guess we'll just not try.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll get to that, but I have to kick John out right now. Is that correct?
Oh.
It is time for a minute.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you got to go out because we got to put out the category for
Okay.
minute to win it. John is not thrilled he has to fill in for Matt Hamilton playing this, but all right, he's out of the studio now.
Every host hates this. The ones who have to be sitting in the chair for it. All right, so there was an article from The Athletic today. Austin Mock, he was grading playoff head coaches by who gives their teams the biggest edge on 4th downs.
Okay.
And he essentially found all the scenarios where a coach is expected to go for it on 4th down throughout this regular season. Now, this is only among the 14 playoff coaches. So I think what we want to do is we want to take the top 7 coaches on this list who, according to him, performed above average, the best.
Okay.
So ranking 1 through 7, the top 7 coaches who give their team the biggest edge on 4th down.
So it's 7 coaches?
7 coaches out of the 14. So
3.5?
I think 3.5 is fair, yeah.
Okay, so
because it's going to be very easy to bust out. It's going to be very easy to strike out on this one.
All right, so top 7 coaches that help their team on 4th down.
You're giving them the biggest edge on 4th down.
All right, 844-770-3776. That's the category. John Audius is going to play. We're setting the over-under at 3.5. Call in. You're going to at least get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Maybe it'll be a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse if you pick the correct over-under. 844-770-3776. Again, 844-770-3776. What callers are we doing?
So caller 5 and 6, split it even, 5.5 points.
Caller 5 and 6, you're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. An emerging star. Badger men's basketball collecting the road win at Rutgers Monday night. John Blackwell leading the charge with 21 points. ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust giving Blackwell big-time praise always, the former guard's comments on the Jump Around digital show.
The guy is John Blackwell on this team. He can score mid-range, tough threes, get to the rim. He's aggressive. He'll get offensive rebounds. He'll get to the foul line. They have a different style that if you're looking to be excited, you just have to open your eyes and accept that they're doing something different.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light, and we're going to get the minute to win it in a minute. But, and John, I know you're a big fan of North South Seafood and Smokehouse. I have 3 locations in the Madison area. They got Verona, they got Madison, and they have DeForest. You can have them cater. You can have it delivered. You can pick it up, carry it out. You also can just eat it there. It's a great family-friendly atmosphere. So you can go there, have whether it's the meat candy, the brisket. They have great crab legs. They have some great fried chicken at the one in Verona. Lots of great options over at our friends at North South Seafood and Smokehouse. They are the sponsor of Minute to Win It.
And you can go there for lunch today, like I did.
Yes.
I had the burnt ends.
Oh, there
it's
you
delicious.
Go. Yes, fantastic. Yeah, the burnt ends over there is usually my go-to. My family's coming to town this weekend. I can almost guarantee we're going to North and South. All right, let's play Minute to Win It.
Will they beat the odds?
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
Or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
John, I know how much you love this category.
This just makes me feel so dumb.
Well, today you might feel... I'm not going to say you're going to feel dumb, but reading this article today made me feel a little dumb.
All right.
Because it is a bit confusing, but I'll explain it in the best way possible.
Okay, I'm going to take
So,
notes.
The Athletic, Austin Mock is their statistics guy, and he analyzed all 14 NFL playoff coaches And he looked at which ones did the best job of correctly going for it or not choosing to go for it on fourth downs this regular season.
Okay.
So it's essentially he ranked all 14 coaches based off of how well they performed with his model on whether or not they should have gone for it on fourth down. You follow?
Okay.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to ask you to guess the top 7 coaches on that list. All right? You feel confident you understand the category?
I hate this already.
All right, you hate it, but your timer starts now.
Well, the Eagles.
So the coach?
Yeah. Yep. Who's the Eagles head coach? Sirianni?
Nick Sirianni, yes.
Is he on there?
He is. He is 5th.
Oh, Siri thought I said Siri.
Even better.
I thought you phoned a friend.
Okay, hold on. Let me look at the playoff teams.
That's a little bit of cheat. I don't know if you should be able to
Is
look.
that cheating?
We didn't really explain the rules to him.
Oh.
Let's give him a buzz.
All right, fair.
One strike for it.
Why? What's the strike
Well,
for
because we didn't give you the rules, so you can't search the computer for it. But you didn't know that, so we're only do one.
Lions coach. What's his name again?
You don't remember the name?
You just beat your team. You could search up the coach's name. That's
Dan
nice.
Campbell. We'll give you that
Yes,
one.
Dan Campbell. Thank you. Where is he?
He's 2nd.
Okay. That's all I got, guys.
Also, I feel like Peter Pan or Captain Hook and the
all I
alligator,
got.
the ticking clock that represents death.
I got. How many did I need?
Okay, we'll give you an extra 10 seconds because we talked to you a lot during the segment.
No, that's fine. I don't need
You
the
don't
10
you-
seconds. I don't want the 10
Can
seconds.
you just not think of the 14 playoff teams?
I can't. The Eagles, the Packers, the Vikings, the Bills, the Chiefs. Oh, let's go. Andy Reid.
Andy Reid is on the list. He is the 6th on the list.
Okay.
Though that was not good enough to get the over, unfortunately.
What was
today.
it? You guys should have. You should always put this over at like 1.5.
He was 3.5 today.
Dang it! I was close.
You were close.
I feel dumb when I do this. I don't like this game.
The ticking clock, everyone knows, and look, Matt would have done worse, but the ticking clock definitely makes it, nobody does well in it. Like when Matt and Molly go together, they're smart people. They still don't do well because the clock puts some pressure on
That pressure hits you. That pressure hits hard.
I was awful. Give me the list.
Pressure.
All right, so actually Dan Campbell, like I said, is number 2, and he's the 4th go for it on fourth down guy this year. He was above average, or I guess if you did the index, he's 24% better than the average playoff coach this postseason.
According to this guy's
model, yes.
Okay.
The best one, though, actually the Bills coach Sean McDermott. Surprisingly enough, he's 25.5% better than average. And then the third one is Dan Quinn, the Commanders, which I guess makes sense when you consider Jaden Daniels. Feel pretty good about going for it on fourth down more often than not.
What is this formula?
Essentially, the formula is they looked at all the scenarios where they were on fourth down this year and whether or not the teams went for it or not. And then they took the formula or the model saying whether or not they should have gone for it. This model decides that. And then they look at what the coach's decision was.
Okay. Well, thanks for making me feel like a total...
It's not super simple, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting topic.
So, John,
give me the bowl game trophies, or the
bowl game.
Not the bowl game trophies, but
the Matt Hamilton throughout the entire regular season for Brewers baseball said he was going to study the lineup. So, like at one point, we'd ask him, and he did it. And then when we announced that we're the new home of the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team, we said, "Hey, give us a lineup," and he got like 4 people. So, I mean, he said he studied it.
He had studied it like 3 months prior.
But still,
he didn't study it.
I'm sorry, that retention is horrendous if that's the case.
No, he's not great. He's not the best test taker. Do you want to know who the other top 7 coaches were?
Let's go.
So then after him was actually Todd Bowles, Buccaneers head coach. And then you got Nick Sirianni, Andy Reid. They're 5 and 6. And then your head coach is number 7,
really?
Kevin O'Connell.
Okay.
According to this model, he's actually 3% below average. So it shows you that the average is actually right under Andy Reid, who is apparently 9.5% above average.
Okay. I didn't even get my own guy, so that's great.
Chris Fish Waters actually said, "Man, that was a brutal minute to win it." So.
Yeah, that was really bad, guys.
I will say, so Dan Campbell talked about
the category made sense, right? Like it wasn't too far fetched.
No,
it made perfect sense.
So his fourth down philosophy was we want to go for it so much that our team doesn't flinch.
Who's this?
Barry Alvarez, Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
it's the old Barry Alvarez don't flinch thing that. You do it so much that it does not feel like a big deal, and that's the philosophy behind going for it on fourth down. If you you wouldn't be nervous about 2nd and 1, and you shouldn't be worried about 4th and 1 if you do it enough. And so that's his philosophy for it. I think it's worked. You saw it, Minnesota.
I think
they drew them off sides. They should have kicked the field goal. They easily could have. They drew them off. Minnesota obviously was really amped up to make that stop, and they jumped.
I think I'm more of an old school type of guy and not going for it in on fourth down. Like even the Lions-Vikings game you just referenced. The Vikings gave up points to go for it on fourth down. I'm more of the just give me my points and let's see what happens the rest of the way.
You know who you're a lot like?
Who?
Matt LaFleur.
Well,
very conservative.
Except I would
situations.
be better in describing my quarterback's potential injury.
Fair.
That is true. We'll continue this conversation. I want to get to how dumb it is to play coy on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
Norman's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by the College Football Postseason on ESPN Radio. Don't miss the College Football Playoff semifinals this Thursday and Friday night right here on 100.5 ESPN and streaming free on the ESPN app. And speaking of the postseason, the Green Bay Packers prepare for their postseason bout in round one of the playoffs against the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday. That game out in Philadelphia, 3:30 p.m. kickoff. But Jordan Love should be under center for the Green Bay Packers, though he was limited at today's practice as he's still dealing with that right elbow injury, the ulnar nerve injury that he suffered in last Sunday's loss to the Chicago Bears. Make sure to tune into 100.5 ESPN all week long, and also head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for all your news, notes, and coverage leading up to kickoff of the Packers and the Eagles. Looking at the rest of the injury report, Javon Bullard, Edgerrin Cooper, Brenton Cox, Andre Dillard, and Jordan Love, as well as backup quarterback Malik Willis, all limited at today's practice. Zane Anderson and TJ Slayton, the only non-participants, along with wide receiver Christian Watson, who's out for the season with a torn ACL. Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Murr.
It's murr.
I'm the problem, it's murr.
Mister, I did properly and correctly predict that game. And I'm not taking a lot of credit because I've done this before.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
You're like, what? What just happened?
Exactly. I was like, no way. How is this possible?
That's a mistake.
Who is this team?
I'm already tired, by the way. Just hearing all of this, I'm already tired and exhausted.
It was, it was
broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside John Audius. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light Prime Time. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
I do have the power, John.
You sure do.
He gets an insight into the show. I'm power hungry here in the Everlight Solar Studio. John Audius, Jim Rutledge with you. And you can get into the show on the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more 844-770-3776. We do have a Siding Unlimited poll question up, and that question is blowing the mind of basically everyone on the show. Should Malik Willis start if Jordan Love is less than 75% healthy against the Eagles? And 46% of you say start Malik, 54% of you say play Love.
It's getting better.
We'll give it time. But, yes, that is how it is going right now. We did have the Adam and Madison chime in. The Packers have a better chance against Philly than a lot of people give them credit for. All the losses, except for the first one against Detroit, have been one-score games. And we've now fixed our kicking situation. A big thing is our best run defender, Edgerrin Cooper, did not play in Week 1. Look, I think the Packers saying they have a 40% chance is fair. I can contradict a lot of that. But we'll just let that game play out. We can get into that more game preview stuff. But I want to get to, one thing is kind of say that Coach Vrabel is like a badass-looking dude. The Chicago Bears just put out a tweet, and it's a picture of Mike Vrabel with his aviator sunglasses on and his football face and his football build, and it just says, we've completed an interview with head coach Mike Vrabel. Football! And I want to ask this question as these candidates become more real. I want to ask it specific for Packer fans, and John, you can chime in on it. Vrabel, and I don't even mean wins and losses. Maybe it's a little bit to do with personality too, so kind of counting for it all. Does Vrabel increase or decrease the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers?
I would think increase.
I think you'd make them a good team. So yeah, it's
but
going
then
to be more of a rivalry.
but there's the Vrabel-LaFleur friendship.
I don't know if they were friends though. He was his OC for 1 year. I don't think they've ever been described truly as friends. They were like
relationship.
They have a relationship, yes.
Yeah. And Vrabel, he's a little cantankerous. He's like the NFL version if Brett Bielema lost like 150 pounds.
He's a more charming version of Bill Belichick. Much more charming.
Yes. So Vrabel would add, I agree, he would add to it.
Yeah.
But also
Hands
more
down.
than just like the winning, it would be, there's a little bit, as John's holding up the photo on the ESPN Madison YouTube page, there's a little bit of that look. Like if that guy with those aviators and that jawline and that kind of football sort of mentality comes in and beats your team, you're going to be extra annoyed.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture right now. Exactly. You're going to be extra annoyed if this guy comes to town and he's like fiery and stuff like that. Yeah. And he does kind of look like Bielema a little bit. If he was
Bielema in his prime.
Yeah, there you go. He's a prime Bielema.
The Bears are doing all their interviews on Zoom, and which is at least their initial ones, which is stupid. Like bring Vrabel in. I'm guessing it's because they're apparently interviewing everyone ever. That if you've met the Chicago Bears, I've seen the joke of like, hey, if you're in line to interview with the Chicago Bears, stay in line. You're going to get your chance. They have a lot of people on their initial list, but I think they're interviewing them all like by Sunday. So I think it's a lot of hopefully it's just fact-finding, and maybe they even have a coach in mind and they're just trying to meet possible assistant coaches for the head coach. But there's a lot. These are all Zoom at first, and then I think the rest will be in person.
Is that standard?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of them, like most of them have to be Zoom. So maybe they're trying to even out the playing field. Vrabel did not have to be Zoom. Pete Carroll would not have to be Zoom. But if you are a coach...
Does Pete Carroll know how to use Zoom?
Well, that's why I want to get to the Zoom side of things in a second here. It is the worst. I tried to use it today. But Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, any of the coaches who are assistants who are in the playoffs have to do Zoom. So it could just be Chicago trying to just keep it even playing field for the first round and then move forward. I do not give them the benefit of the doubt. They're completely inept until proven otherwise. But I had to use Zoom today, and I haven't used it in forever. And it was just like through my my good friends at Canopy Wealth Management, and I needed to. So they obviously have their own secure setup for it, and I appreciate that. So they don't use Teams, and I haven't used Zoom on my computer. I think my computer updated for 25 minutes trying to get it to work, and then it still never worked. And I finally ended up having to figure out how to use it like on the browser, which is like such a tiny little like in the lower right hand corner. It says, "Oh, you can just use this on the browser," which would have been like, well, why didn't you tell me that in the first place?
That was a possibility.
I don't want this stupid app on my phone anywhere or on my computer anyways.
Yes.
I never use Zoom, but I had to update. I swear to God, 20 times, so I probably haven't used it in years.
That's awful.
Yeah. So I'm anti-Zoom. We have Teams, and Teams is annoying, but at least it works better, and I don't have to. And I hate when there's technology where if you don't use it often, it's just so outdated. Like we just throw things out there and then update it regularly.
And then you, like you said, you have to wait so long to get it updated. Zoom usually works for me. The thing I don't like about Zoom is when they ask for like if you need to put in codes or whatever, because usually,
the code,
that to me is like just let me click on the thing.
Good luck. I clicked it from the email that was sent to me, Ryan. I agree with that. Like that's the other thing. Then you got to go back and find the code. Like where is this code? Why can't you just take me to it? I clicked it from the email, Ryan. Why can't it do it?
And then if your phone is...
Ryan has Tech Advisor vibes, so...
Clearly.
Glasses.
Glasses.
That's
all it takes.
Very coded.
But separately, I think you could pull off like a Ben Johnson Halloween costume if you took your glasses off.
Ben Johnson doesn't look that nerdy, though.
But he's just very generic, young Caucasian
I've been
fella.
very much compared, and I did dress up as Halloween once as Mike McDaniel, and I pulled it off pretty well.
McDaniel, yes. You don't have. I don't know if you have the hair.
Oh, I
'cause
could
he's-
see that.
Well, you
yeah.
haven't seen my hair in a while.
That's true.
I don't do.
True.
I wear a hat
And
every
I only
day.
see
Do you have
Ben
a picture
Johnson
of
with a
this?
hat
Can I
on.
see this?
I do have a picture of it. I'll have to go find it for
Yeah,
you.
because
but-
I could see. Well, that's a little bit of the
I could
prime
see
time. I think
for
that's a minor start of the origin story of primetime Lorsheim. I think you told us that, and then we thought of you as Deion Sanders, and then we were
there was a long history.
there
behind
was
it,
not
yes.
just a direct line. AC and Tosa chimes in. LaFleur isn't conservative on fourth down. Last two games he went for it, costing shot at field goal range in both those games. And honestly, remember that stupid timeout he called to save the Bears. He thought about going for it on fourth down. Again, that's the difference between Dan Campbell and LaFleur. LaFleur flinched and called that timeout. AC and Tosa said Vrabel is Dan Campbell Jr. I think it'd be the other way around, but I get the point, mainly because Vrabel was there first. And then thanks, AC. He says, I can always be counted on to be at the show. Prime Buy has the best attendance for the show, but I have the best for the host. But I also didn't have
That's a low
twins. I also didn't have twins, so Molly should get a little bit of a pass there. Just a slight pass, though.
Yeah,
Nothing
only
crazy.
slight. But yeah, no, I'm pulling up the actual photo of me dressed up as Mike McDaniel right now. I mean, I think I pulled it off
I think
pretty
you would
well.
have pulled it off, yeah.
I want to ask this question.
I can already see it.
What coach of the NFL, and then we'll go to break, we'll get to the stupid Coy thing. On the other side, we have LaFleur playing Coy, we have Rod Domofsky answering it, but that could be our Stones. Do you think there is a coach in the NFL, whether interviewing or a current coach, who would play the game of the fake Frozen on Zoom joke? Is there a coach that comes to mind that would do that?
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel?
He 100% would.
Should we ask that as a Jim at Jim Matt Molly side of the limited poll question?
Who would be most likely to...
What NFL coach, current or candidate, would be most likely to do the fake Frozen Zoom joke?
Yeah. Who are we putting on there?
McDaniel?
McDaniel's one.
Or do we just make it for the NFC North? And God knows who would be. None of them.
Well, yeah, I was about to say just Bears head coach.
Right? Thomas Brown, Eberflus, like a slash. But you could go O'Connell. Obviously,
Dan Campbell,
LaFleur, and then
Eberflus / Thomas Brown.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
You might have to do Flus Brown.
Yeah,
because I don't
Flus
think
Brown. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's do that. So you
I'm
can
a
chime in
techie
on
guy.
that.
Is
That's
that
the
a thing?
second
Do people do that? The fake Zoom freezing?
I feel like it's been done.
Yeah,
Or
it's like a meme thing to do. It's it's something Mike McDaniel would do.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, that's his aura.
All right, you can chime in on that 844-770-3776. That's our Siding Unlimited poll question on the Cardinals Talking text line, 844-770-3776. And Rob and Madison, no, I will not answer that question. All right, we'll throw some stones on the other side.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, will feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
We're going to skate to one song only.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside John Audius. Primetime will always shine behind the glass. We are live in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. And we are presented by Coors Light. We are going to get to throwing stones in a second. But I want to tell you about my good friends at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. But there hasn't been a lot of snow, but if there was, I wouldn't sweat it because I got my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. And during the summer months, I'll pull around my camper and enjoy camping in a much easier way than you did the last time you went out there, John. So thanks to my friends at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. If you're in the market for a new to you Colorado or Silverado, reach out to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. We had a couple questions from yesterday I want to review before we get to throwing stones. Were the expectations too high for Jordan Love, or did he underachieve this season? 59% of you said he underachieved. And then also, is Josh Jacobs good enough to carry the Packers through a playoff run? 65% of you said yes, which to me is unhinged because I don't know if there's a running back, period, that's good enough to do that.
Oh, sure.
And so that's the first part of it. And I think there's a clear line of demarcation between Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs. I don't know where Jahmyr Gibbs falls in, but I will say this. Since David Montgomery's gone down, Jahmyr Gibbs looks like he's gotten better as the bell cow running back. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the only other back you would consider being able to do that. But running backs don't do that anymore.
I would have voted expectations too high.
Yes.
And I would have voted no for Josh Jacobs.
Same. All right, let's get throwing stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
All right, Jim Rutledge, you were so worked up about this one that we have to review it for Throwing Stones today because Matt LaFleur, I don't know, good poker face, good media training face. What would we call it?
None of this is good.
None of it is good. All of it's bad.
He was trying to be cute and coy. Let's hear Coach LaFleur. Asked about the Jordan Love injury.
Was Jordan able to throw it all out? Yeah, he was limited. Yeah, on a limited basis.
I don't even know if that's clear he threw the ball.
We said yeah.
We said
yeah, he was limited.
Said yeah, he was limited.
So did he throw the ball? Yeah, he was limited.
You put a comma in there. I don't hear it. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it again.
Hold on here.
Sorry.
Was Jordan able to throw it all out? Yeah, he was limited.
He doesn't. Maybe he should have put a comma in there, but he says that, yeah, he was limited.
And then on a limited basis.
How did the Green Bay Packers press room stenographer write that answer? I need to see that right now.
And then that's Coach LaFleur playing coy, which is obnoxious. But then let's hear Rob Domofsky. We'll get that ready. I'll give Ryan a second to get it going. And let's hear Rob Domofsky answer, is Coach LaFleur being coy?
Do you think this is him just playing coy and being a little deceptive up there, pulling the hat down, smirking a little bit?
100%. I mean, we had an interesting exchange with Jordan after that I'm sure you get the audio of a lot of one-word answers. But, like, he wouldn't, like, did you cut it loose today? I don't really know what that means. Like, well, of course you know what it means, cutting it loose. Did you let it rip? You know, it's a bunch of coyness. I mean, the bottom line is Jordan Love's going to play. He probably does still have some soreness, but not in his hand. He said it was the elbow. That he has a little soreness in his elbow, but he didn't wear any protective pad today. You know, maybe they didn't throw, you know, the go routes today, although without Christian Watson here, do they have anybody that can run that route, be successful at it anyway?
Malik Heath!
Malik Heath's got 4.34 speed. That people forget. He was definitely fast when he tested coming out of college. But, yeah, he's going to play. My guess is that as the week goes on, the soreness becomes less and less.
Okay. I have the stone to throw, and John actually made me think about it, and I'll let John hop in on it as well. But this playing coy thing is one of the dumbest things I can think of in sports, and it's an abject waste of everyone's time and energy. If it is 1% of your day to play coy and try to pretend that you're maybe hurt or not hurt, or Coach LaFleur maybe hurt or not hurt, here's what a good football team, a playoff football team, could do. If you were doing this in the regular season against an in-up football team like the Jets or the Bears, maybe you could sucker them into something dumb. But you're playing a team that was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They're a well-coached team. And, oh, by the way, their defensive coordinator is Vic Fangio, one of the best in football over the last decade. He's not going to prepare or kind of split the difference of, like, I guess I'll prepare for Malik Willis or I'll prepare for Jordan Love. We'll have to wait and see. What does that even mean? Are we going to try less?
It's provocative.
Right.
It gets the Packers going.
And, like, what are we going to try less during this? And also, we've talked about this. The Packers have been successful because they've been kind of running the Malik Willis offense with Jordan Love. So that the offense isn't going to look dramatically different. It's not like you're running Michael Vick or Tom Brady. These quarterbacks are similar. And the only difference is one is better at football. But otherwise, we're not going to half-ass it. Vic Fangio's not going to be like, hey, guys, I guess Jordan's not playing. Like, you guys just go home.
Okay.
Take the week off.
Guys, I know
matter.
at 1 o'clock we were supposed to, break down Jordan Love, but we're switching it up. We're only going to spend 10 minutes on Love. We got to spend way more. Like, they're going to be ready for the Packers.
Right.
They're going to be ready for the quarterbacks. I agree 1,000% with you, Mr. Rutledge. Like, this coyness is pointless. It doesn't really work. It's just, I'm trying to sit here and figure out how that helps the Packers. Because then are you thinking the Eagles are all of a sudden, like they're going to be prepared for your team. They're going to be prepared for Jordan Love. They're going to be prepared if Malik Willis is it. Like, it's not like they're going to, like, all of a sudden not prepare more for one. Like, they're going to be ready. You know what I mean?
Is
like,
coyness a word?
I don't know.
I think we just all invented that in the last 3 minutes.
Coyness? This sounds like a word.
Either way, you're probably right. Yeah.
The quality of,
it is
coyness. COYNESS.
How many times do you think you said the word coyness?
Oh, not very
in
much.
like the last 365 days.
A zero until
Zero
today.
up until today.
Zero. I know that. I would have remembered that.
This is quite the coyness day. This is incredibly coyness today.
But I agree. What is it? I'm trying to figure out how it benefits Green Bay. How does that? Yeah,
honestly, I think it's a waste of energy. I honestly think the amount of energy they think that Philadelphia is wasting in reviewing Malik Willis film at all is the same amount of energy they're wasting playing this stupid game. You know what does the saying go? Play stupid games and get stupid prizes.
Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift said that in a song.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, she has a lot of songs. She probably
other
said
people
it.
have said it too. You know,
She probably said coyness in one of her songs too
I
at some
doubt it.
point.
Well, maybe.
You were being coyness. A lot
Speaking
of
Taylor Swift lyrics, lyrics sometimes, and I like Taylor Swift. There's one lyric. It's not a bad lyric. It's just when you listen to it, you're like, it's not really that long. So when Christmas is December 24th, December 25th, correct? Yes.
I know exactly where you're going, and
Yes.
I've said it from the minute I heard the song. Go ahead.
The lyric is, we can leave the Christmas lights up till January. Like it's our house, basically, or that's generally the lyrics. It's like 4 days. Like, what do we, like, you had to get them down on Christmas? Like, it's not a thing.
Everybody leaves the Christmas lights up until January.
Right.
Imagine if it was like a law, like in certain states where like, hey, 12:01, December 26th, all the lights are down.
So the song is
getting
Lover.
fined.
Yeah, you can find.
By Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And the lyric is, we could leave the Christmas lights up till January, and this is our place. We make the rules. Who is telling you have to get your Christmas? If she said February, January, what's the difference? If she said February, you're like, okay, makes sense. It's just a miss. Like, I don't understand the January.
I agree. The first time I heard that song, I made fun of it to my child and my wife. I'm like, what? January? It's like a week later. Like, of course, you're going to have the Christmas lights up until January. She should have changed it to, we can leave the Christmas lights up until February.
Yeah.
It's our.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly Scrooge-esque.
Doesn't
like,
make
you got
sense.
New Year's. Who doesn't want the Christmas lights on New Year's?
Maybe it was that agent, whoever that messed up guy was.
Oh,
she
yeah,
doesn't like.
the one that she had to release all her own versions of it.
Yeah, this is Taylor's version of Christmas lights.
Goodness, it's just it just stuck out. You mentioned the Christmas lights; it's stuck in my head. I'm glad John and I are on the same page of it. Every once in a while, there's lyrics, and I'm like, "What? Doesn't make any sense." All right, we can ask Mark Tauscher about Taylor Swift lyrics and some of these poll questions on the other side.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelsen, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Are you taking GLP-1 injections like semaglutides, but wondering how you can keep the weight off long term? Or maybe the weight just isn't coming off as quickly as you thought it would? If you weren't given a specific food plan to follow, you might be at risk of putting the weight back on once the injections end. At MadisonWeightLoss.com, our supervised nutrition plan could help support you and maximize your weight loss results now and empower you with the tools to keep the weight off long term once the injections end.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. If you're looking to find success achieving a new weight loss goal in 2025, do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. A new you in this new year. Schedule a free consultation at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we offer a proven approach to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day without exercising or prepackaged foods or counting calories. Plus, our strategies can help you keep the weight off long term. Don't wait. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
What did you call yourself, Thundercat? Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge, John Audius with you live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Thrilled to be joined by Mark Tauscher, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison. Madison's family-owned and custom jeweler. Mark, a couple poll questions I wanted to get your thoughts on quickly. One is a lighthearted one. So the Chicago Bears just finished their Zoom meeting with Mike Vrabel, and I had a really annoying experience with Zoom today, but we asked the question at Jim, Matt, and Molly, which NFC North coach would be most likely to do the fake frozen face joke on Zoom if they were in an interview?
Ooh, Eberflus. Matt Eberflus.
Okay, all right. I thought maybe Campbell, but okay.
Hey, why are they doing remote interviews with their coaches? Why wouldn't they bring them in the building and let them see and feel what's going on?
All right, I'm going to assume it's because they're incredibly inept, but I'm going to try to say it's because they're trying to level the playing field because a lot of the coaches they're interviewing it's not allowed by league rules to do in-person interviews, so they have to do them on Zoom per new league rules, so maybe they're just trying to flatten out the playing field because Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll, and others would not have to do Zoom, so I would agree with you. That would make the most sense. But they're also interviewing, Mark, really, you might get a call. They're interviewing anyone they've ever talked to ever. It's an incredibly long and very terrifying list because I don't know what the Bears are going to do.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does, and that's that's how you continue to. And I'm not going to. You know what, man? I'm not going to crap on the Bears tonight. Yeah. They came into Lambeau. I have no idea how they found a way to win that game, but they did. So kudos to you, Jimmy, and all your Bear faithful. But I would not want to be in the position of where the Chicago Bears are right now if they're going to keep their GM. And at some point, you need to marry everybody up.
Yep.
You need to marry your quarterback up with your GM and your head coach. And until you do that, there's too many written-in excuses, and I think that's where Chicago made the big mistake last year, was not either committing to Eberflus or wiping the whole thing clean with Caleb, and then you go start. But that's, I guess that's a story for another day.
Look, it's the story of the Bears. They could have had Jim Harbaugh. The rivalry could have been great. How annoying would he be to Packer fans? The team looks more competent.
Fun for everybody.
Yeah.
That would have been fun for us. That would have been fun for Bears fans. Yeah, it would have been great. But that's not what good organizations would have done.
No.
So I get it.
The only thing I got going for me is that, none of the, honestly, you're constantly firing coaches. There's a lot of bad organizations. So they're in the pile of an inept. And I honestly, at this point, they're just going to dumb luck their way into success.
Maybe.
And that's the only way it happened. There's no strategy for it. It's just going to be luck.
Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it.
So the other thing we asked was, were the expectations too high for Jordan Love coming into the season from Packer fans, or did he underachieve? 59% of people said he underachieved. John and I both said I think the expectations were maybe a little too high, that everyone just expected him to jump into the Aaron Rodgers stratosphere. He's a very good quarterback, and he maintained being a very good quarterback.
I would probably fall into we maybe crowned and because of how great he played. I mean, if you look back at the back end of last season, I said this a bunch last year, he was playing at the highest level. I don't know if there was any quarterback last year and when you got to December, January, played better than Jordan Love. And I think we got excited about that, and then he did it in the playoffs. You have to look at the whole picture and the fact he's still young. So I do think we got super excited because we know he's a really good quarterback. And I think we started putting him in that same category because, well, Green Bay just knows what they're doing and they figured it out. And then reality hits and you have some injuries and, teams have had a good look at you now. They have a better understanding of what you want to do and trying to limit that. So I think the expectations coming in where he was going to be an MVP this season, and I think that was probably unfair. And then you compound that with the fact that we thought after week 1 he might be out for the season. He tears his groin. He does all this stuff. I think we were probably unfair in our assessment of what the expectations were for him this season.
Mark, how did you like talking to the media when you played? And the reason I'm asking this question is because, Jordan Love spoke to the media, and he was we've been using the word coy about his elbow, and even Matt LaFleur, they're very short on words. And we've just been trying to figure out, why can't they just give a semi-competent answer? So I guess I have 3 questions. How did you handle the media as a player, and could the Packers have handled today a little bit better?
So I didn't see a ton of the reactions. I know that they're trying to be coy, and John, you know this from volleyball, all the real hyper-competitive stuff. Everybody is always looking for any little edge. And as a player, we were always looked at from the media is there. You utilize and message how you want to. Obviously, the media can message how they want to. And you're always looking for what's the best thing for our program and what we are looking to do. And having a unified message is an important part to that. So I get it. To be honest and do all that stuff, that's for the off season. That's for your own podcast. I don't think anyone in those locker rooms are going to sit there and say, yeah, Jordan, my elbow sucked. I'm not going to be able to play. That's not doing anything. And in the same respect, I feel really good. I think we all assume he's going to play, and I don't know what benefit he is by giving, telling the rest of the media and Philadelphia and everything else that he feels really good. I don't think that benefits your team, and that's where I think you're coming from. I know that's how I always approached it when I was doing interviews, especially late in the season.
It just feels like it feels to me like he's probably sore, he's going to play, and everything that. LaFleur, he wouldn't even give a straight answer.
Can we get
Yeah, maybe you can just hear LaFleur in the first question about Jordan.
Was Jordan able to throw it all, Matt?
Yeah, he was limited. Yeah, on a limited basis.
Yeah, he's limited.
So Mark, I get your point, but it's you're trying too hard to be coy. It's not like Philadelphia's well, I guess we'll prepare for Malik Willis now.
Yep.
Philadelphia's not going to do anything different.
I would think you're right, and I understand that part of it. He is not going to give anything out. There's always, when it comes to injuries, it's such a tricky deal because the league forces you to, put injury reports out. And, Bill Belichick did things a certain way, and I think people looked at the success he had and tried to emulate it. But I agree. I mean, at some point, everybody kind of knows what the game is. Just like Philadelphia could say, well, we don't know if Jalen's going to be able to play. Everybody knows Jalen Hurts is going to play. It's just a matter of, how healthy he's going to be. That's where they're at with Jordan Love. And although it's not, I think they're looking at it like it's CIA espionage stuff. And it's we hide all the information. It's like if you're playing on Survivor.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to give a bunch of info out because it's going to end up hurting you when you don't have to. And I think when they have to, they put the injury report out. But I think everybody assumes both quarterbacks are going to play. And I think they're both probably going to be not as healthy as they want to be, but they're going to go out and play, and there's going to be no excuses about how they play.
So on that note, and I am legitimately surprised at the results. So we asked our starting unlimited poll question, should Malik, it's getting better now, should Malik Willis start if Jordan Love is less than 75% healthy this Sunday versus the Eagles? And at one point it was almost 50-50. Now it's 44-56. People say Jordan Love should play. But that is a wild number to me because outside of Jordan Love risking long-term injury if he plays with this specific injury, you got to play him.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say
it's dumb. That's insane. But yeah.
No, I understand the idea and the concept of what you're talking about. And by the way, I think that's more of a encouragement about what Malik Willis has been able to do than anything else. But make no mistake about it, this is Jordan Love's football team, and if he is at 35%, he's going to go out there. And then if you want, and you can look at how the game flow is going, if he can't execute and do things that he needs to do, it's the playoffs. This isn't a Bishop's charity game in August. This is the big boy league. You're going to go out there and give everything you got. And if it's good enough, great. If it's not, you live with it. But he is your guy. You've made that abundantly clear. And for everybody that thinks, well, you put Malik out there, you want to start putting some packages in and things to maybe help on short yardage. All right, maybe. But as far as taking any meaningful reps, third down, et cetera, it's Jordan Love. If he's remotely healthy, he's out there slinging it, and you're going to try to win with him.
I mean, oh, by the way, Jordan Love says his sore elbow is getting back to normal. Malik Willis says his grip on the football doesn't feel normal. So I don't even know if Malik Willis
you should add that. Add that into your precursor on the poll, and maybe that won't be 45%.
Maybe so 75% Jordan Love or an 80% Malik Willis. Like, really get into the math of it.
Fill in the blank for me. The Packers will win if blank.
So the easy answer is always turnovers, and I know they won the turnover margin in Brazil and didn't win that game, but I think this game is going to be about two things. It's going to be about lost yardage plays and getting people in third and long, and who wins the third down, and then which running back has a bigger day. Both teams, even though they both have franchise quarterbacks, they both go off of their star tailbacks. And Saquon Barkley has gotten a lot of love, deservedly so. He's been fantastic for them. But Josh Jacobs has been pretty good for Green Bay, too. And whichever one of those guys makes more plays, has a bigger day, I think those are going to be your two big indicators to me. And I think the running back, we usually in the playoffs will say whoever's quarterback plays better, I think whoever's running back plays better is going to allow the other quarterback to play better, and that's going to be the team that comes out of there victorious.
I'll be honest, I would bet on Barkley in that situation.
Yeah, probably.
I think Josh Jacobs really good.
And you know what? That's why Philadelphia is favored for a reason. They're at home. They have a more experienced team. There's a lot of things going for them, but we've seen this movie before. You get to the playoffs, pressure mounts. All of the pressure, in my opinion, is on Philadelphia. There is a good chance that if Philadelphia gets beat, they might be looking for a new head coach.
Yeah.
So when you start looking at this and that does matter. How tight do they come out? Jalen Hurts is going to be rusty. He hasn't played in 21 days. There's a lot of things that I think maybe get underlooked as far as what the big differential is going to be when they lace it up on Sunday.
Yeah, this is not a lost cause for the Packers. I get like a 45% chance they win. A few things go their way. Both teams are slow-starting teams. So this game, and the Packers play, even if it's kind of late in the game comebacks, the Packers don't get blown out. So I would immediately pick them to cover, which means then they got a shot to win.
Agreed, and I think when you look at the thing that's concerning to me is Philadelphia's defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I think from the Packer fan standpoint, the running game has been good, but our passing game is disjointed right now, and that's the part that I'm concerned about. And then you take Christian Watson out of it, you're going to need to make big chunk plays. This is not going to be a game where you're going to be doing 16-play drives. This is going to need to be, and we saw a couple of those big plays. I know Jaden Reed had a big touchdown against them for, I think, 60 or 70 yards. That's going to be needed to do it. And Philadelphia, they just don't give up a ton of big plays. They've righted their ship. I think they've really come along with their new defensive coordinator. And I think they're really feeling comfortable, and they got some big dogs up front that are hard to move and that can get after people. That's the biggest concern for me as far as trying to get some things going consistently on offense for for a team that, quite frankly, has not been consistent for 4 quarters in very many games this season.
Honestly, it feels like I actually have more trust in the Philadelphia Eagles assistant coaches than I do their head coach, because they were kind of the reverse Packers last year. The Packers came into the playoffs hot. The Eagles limped in and got bounced right away. The Packers got the win and then lost the second. I don't know where I put the Packers. Minnesota was not a great game from Jordan Love and the team overall. Chicago, they just came out flat. That's why they lost, is that they came out flat and they just allowed Chicago to hang around. And but Philadelphia with Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore, like, those are really great coordinators. I'm not saying the Packers don't have them, but it's one of those weird situations where I actually like their coordinators more than their head coach.
Well, I think you could be living in Philadelphia. I think that's how Philadelphia feels. And, Sirianni had to make those moves or he would have been out of a job. So he brought them in, and I think they found their stride. It always takes a little time when you have new leadership in these of these units. It takes a little time to get comfortable and to get an understanding of what they're thinking. So I think Philadelphia feels really good about where they're at. And if Jalen Hurts plays a good, clean game, I think they feel like they're going to win the game. And I would say if there's not a ton of turnovers and Jalen Hurts plays a good, clean game, I think it's going to be really tough for Green Bay to win this game.
Mark, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
You bet. See you guys.
All right, that's Mark Tauscher. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Madison Weight Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. If you're looking to find success achieving a new weight loss goal in 2025, do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. A new you in this new year.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, Pick more or less on their projection, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40 states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
No sleep till!
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. So what are you waiting for? Go be one of those winners. Coming up next, a little bit later, we have the Bucks game. Looks like Dame Lillard might not be playing tonight. The Bucks host the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama in town. I like that.
Nice.
Wemby? That's honestly worth going to see.
Chris Middleton's on the bench, too.
Always. Dame Lillard might be on the bench, too. So, yeah, it's one of those weird games. But 8:30 tip-off on ESPN, so you can watch the game on ESPN, or you can listen right here on ESPN Madison. And with the Bucks, since we got a second since I just mentioned them, John, they're a team that they're 18-16. I feel better about them than the 18-16 record, but it does feel like it's honestly a little bit. Every team's got their sort of regular season expectations. But for the Packers, this year was all about, like, what's going to happen in the playoffs. If they go and lose to Philadelphia, you're going to be like, oh, man, what a disappointing year. Same, like, you're going to retroactively be like, all right, same playoff seeding. You didn't go as far. You didn't make any big jump. How disappointing. Badger basketball. I talked about it with Ben Brust on the jump around. At this point, I kind of just keep them at arm's length because I think most college basketball fans are like, hey, do something for me in March. Yep. To be honest, I think most Badger basketball fans, like, if you made an Elite Eight or Final Four elite, if you went to the Final Four and that's all you did, and then you were bad the other 4 or 5 years in a row, I think people still will be fine with give me the Final Four.
Yep.
But at least the Sweet 16. So I'm kind of been like, I'm not getting emotionally invested with Badger basketball for the same thing. And I think the Bucks have this sort of, it's not the emotional investment, but because they've been bounced very early in the playoffs since winning the NBA Finals, for me, this is all kind of like a to-do of like, I got to see what you are in the playoffs, especially since you're so old. So it's really all dependent on, is Middleton and Dame, will they be healthy in the playoffs? And honestly, outside of that, the only thing that really interests me on a day-to-day basis is, would they make a big trade and get rid of Middleton or Bobby Portis or someone who might have a tradable contract? That's the most intriguing team about this team outside of, like, I like the Bucks and I want to watch basketball, but I'm not getting emotionally invested until the playoffs start.
I don't think you can. I think it's tough in the NBA to get emotionally invested because it is so long. And you're just waiting to see, when you have expectations, like if you're a Bucks fan, you win the championship, you have expectations the next year and the next year and the next year, and you're just, as a fan, I feel like sometimes you're just waiting for the playoffs. I'm just going to wait till the playoffs, and now let's become a little bit more invested. So I think the same thing with baseball. At least for me, it's tough to get invested in 162 games, and know that it all can come to an end in like 3 days.
Does anything about, like, today with the report from Chris Haynes saying that Chris Middleton's being moved to the bench, like he's not being sat, like he's not load managing, he's just coming off the bench now, like movements like that, like tinkering in the lineup, does that like interest you, or like does that make you want to watch the game more?
It makes me want to analyze the game more after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, how did this work? Let's get some data, and then let's look at the numbers. But it doesn't make me want to watch him come off the bench.
Yeah, probably doesn't give you much confidence about this.
But for me, the bench is more just like because he's hurt, and this is a way to manage his minutes better.
Hopefully.
I mean, hurt and old. Draymond Green, he did this with Golden State, right?
Yeah.
He's off the bench. Kind of, if he's going to do it, Chris has nothing to say. Thank you, Steve Kerr.
Does it matter?
What's that? The bench?
Like if you play X amount of minutes and you start, or you play X amount of minutes and you come off the bench.
He was playing bench minutes as is.
Yes.
So.
And it's really about what's your closing lineup. That's always been the case for basketball. Who's out there when the game, and I think that's going to be situational.
And they need him out there.
And the problem is Chris Middleton is still getting paid like a guy who needs to be out there at the end of the game and should be playing starters minutes.
Yeah.
But to your point, it's the amount of minutes played, not starting or sitting, is the important part. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Listen back, Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, and those great places. We'll be back at it tomorrow.
Have you been waiting to buy your